Good afternoon. This is Peter with Bedrock Medicare, and we're going to look at prescription drug plan quotes and a few tips and tricks. So I've got in a couple pharmacies loaded in here from our general screen. I added a Walgreens and CVS so we can kind of look at some cost comparisons, and I've added a few medications in here. Once we go over to the quoting screen here and we look at the PDPs, it's going to give us our prescription drug price based off of annual cost and partial year cost. When you hit the prescription coverage button, it's going to bring up the prescription coverage details. The first thing I want to look at here is what's covered and what's not covered. Okay, so in this case, we added some sildenafil citrate, generic for ED, 10 tabs a month. It is not covered by the formulary. I'm going to look at other plans to see if anything else is going to cover it, maybe through another company. And so far, it doesn't look like very many people want to cover it. Oh, it looks like we have the Walgreens plan that will cover it, but they don't cover the Ozempic. So you have to make the decision with the client, what are the most cost-effective things? Or are there other ways to get medications? In this case, something like sildenafil, you can get through a lot of other avenues and programs. You can also use things like GoodRx and Mark Cuban. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect that sildenafil, and I'm going to rerun the quote. That makes a huge difference to the medication cost. So now when I look at this plan here, we can see the tier and any restrictions on here. The other thing I want people to take a look at is the retail cost of medications. This is a big indicator of where you may be able to provide some cost savings to your clients. When the retail cost is the same as the cost on the plan or right around it, look at programs like GoodRx. You can generally find coupons for those. When I do find those medications in there, I'm going to do the same thing. I like to go in and deselect them to see what other kind of impact it's going to have on the plan decision when there's other avenues. Clients can get medications through those programs. They cannot apply the coupons to an insurance transaction. It goes through as a separate retail transaction. So they get certain medications through the plan, and then they'll get certain medications through those additional programs like GoodRx. There's lots of them out there. So let's reshop that. And for that albuterol sulfate that I took out of there, you can usually get that for about $20 a month. And again, it drops our cost down significantly.